night. It devastated someone.
Who, and what do you mean by was an important night?
It happened more than 15 years ago.
Oh.
Mary gave Gwendolyn's arm a playful punch.
You've been holding back on me. You didn't tell me we could time travel in this place. Neat.
Gwendolyn smiled over at her dear old friend.
There were many things Mary would soon discover about her new dwellings. Though Mary was a more experienced witch, Gwendolyn had spent more time in the hereafter and had honed some new magical skills, including going back to the past. She was looking forward to showing her friend the ropes. She nodded to the grassy field.
This particular moment had an impact for several of our loved ones.
Mary watched intently as the young players warmed up, the practice footballs soaring through the air. I think I saw this in a movie.
What? Football?
Gwendolyn couldn't help but chuckle. Since her best friend had died in 1937, her modern-day knowledge had been relegated to movies played at the Majestic Theater where her spirit had been trapped for decades. She'd seen hundreds of movies over the years.
So, what happened tonight? Mary asked, her question full of eager wonderment. A heart was broken so badly I have yet to be able to repair it.
Whose heart?
Mary looked around.
Everyone we know is matched. Emma's marrying Jason, Abby and Brandon are pumping out the children, Josh and Caitlin.
She paused, laughing. Still act like they are on their honeymoon. I can barely check in on them without getting an eyeful. It's probably best for now to give them their privacy.
Agreed. So who's left?
Gwendolyn pointed to the side of the field. See what's going on there?
Mary craned her neck to get a better look. Oh, my Lord. That's my cousin Adam. I'd recognize that lanky chap anywhere.
Gwendolyn nodded.
Distant cousin was more accurate since Adam wouldn't be born for many decades after Mary passed away.
That's Rachel Foster asking him out for the first time.
We both know how that ended.
Not far from Rachel and Adam stood Bethany Wilson.
What's that she's holding up?
That would be a video camera.
They watched in silence for a few seconds as Bethany continued to film.
It must have been hard for her.
Mary smacked her knees. Well, it all worked out in the end.
Yes, it did. Gwendolyn nodded her agreement.
With a little support from Mary and her, the souls finally united during the holidays. They both had a front row seat in the town's park this spring when Adam proposed to Bethany. Bethany's now with Adam, one broken heart mended, we can retire. Mary twisted around to face Gwendolyn. Unless... Her eyes widened. You're not talking about Rachel's heart, are you?
No. Rachel now knows Adam wasn't the man for her.
Gwendolyn pointed in the direction of a football player on the sidelines, his gaze locked on Rachel and Adam. Without warning, he yanked off his helmet and walked slowly toward the players' bench, his head down. Who's that?
Will Jenkins. He's been in love with Rachel for years. I've tried to get them together with one spell after another, but nothing seems to work. I can feel the energy of their attraction circling them, but I can't get their souls to unite.
They watched in silence as Will approached the players' bench and reached behind him, bringing a black backpack onto his lap. He unzipped it and pulled out a long cherry-pink flower with a note attached to the stem. Within seconds, he ripped the note off the stem and shoved the paper back into his bag. What type of flower is that? Mary asked.
Snapdragons.
Gwendolyn put her finger to her mouth to shush her friend. What happens next is...